Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me for Daily Spark TV. I am your host, Dr. Angela Butchchester. You know what I like to do on the show. I want to enlighten you. I want to inspire you. I want to empower you to become your best self. Now, I want you to go on and get comfy cozy because we are about to get started. My guest today is Raymond Chukwu, and we're talking about his book, Blacks and Poverty. And I'm so excited to have you on. Thank you so much, Raymond, for being on today.
Thank you for having me.
I love the fact that you have a book with such an interesting title, so I can't wait to talk about that. But first, I always give my guests an opportunity to introduce themselves, if you will, to the few people out there that may be unfamiliar with your work. Can you let
Sure.
our guests know a little bit about who you are?
Sure. Yeah, my name is Raymond. Last name is Chukwu, spelled Chukwu, Chukwu. I'm a founder and CEO of Black Technologies Advancement. I'm also an aerospace engineer with particular emphasis on aerospace medicine. Now, given my background in aerospace engineering and as an entrepreneur with captivating background, I'm really interested in exploring the application of space technologies to address the issues of affecting a lot of people here on the planet, especially this time that the climate issue is of major concern. So I'm using this to address that, and then I want to tie it into the importance of science and technology as it applies to especially minorities, Black population, because one of the problems that is setting us back, especially the Black people back, is our limited participation in science and technology, which of course is putting us way behind other ethnicities when it comes to economic stability, wealth distribution. That is where we are lacking. Therefore, that's why I think that this book, Blacks and Poverty, is one of the books that everybody should read and understand exactly how Blacks can be able to compete in the 21st century economy.
I love that answer. So many times when we think about science and we think about technology, many times, unfortunately, we do not put those of the African diaspora that doesn't come to mind. Be it that we are here in the States or we are on the mother continent, people tend to think of other nationalities. And I think it's amazing that you are bringing to light what is so, in my world, commonplace to know people of color and especially Black people that are scientists that delve into that world. So thank you so much for being mindful of that. Now, being an author, is that
Um,
something that you always wanted to do, or did you find that you just needed to get the word out and putting it in a book was just the most appropriate way?
no, actually, I've, I'm not really an author that much, but I've written few books just to because of my pursuit and my commitment to bring out to people to realize that, because as an aerospace engineer, every place I go, both in school, both where I work, what everything I do, you only see me, the only the only minority in that section. So I keep wondering, keep looking around, why don't we see other people of my ethnicity in this particular field? So that is one of the things that kind of started to motivate me. And I start keep looking around. And then I realized that a lot of people try to look down on us or all these type of things simply because it's not that, we are this or that, but we don't have a product. We don't have a product in the marketplace
Yeah.
because you see, product market is a two-way street. You buy from me, I buy from you. But if I'm only buying from you, you're not buying from me, the respect is not there. And
Mm-hmm.
also, and also the part of it that is so important is that every product, a lot of people might not figure this out, understand it, but every product in the marketplace is based on some type of science and technology. You can check it out from anywhere. Any product in the market is based on some type of science and technology.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem with us blacks is that because of our limited participation in science and technology, we lack the access to be able to participate in technology developments, and therefore our skills to bring such product or to come up with any type of product in the market doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And, and more importantly, you can see like in the United States here, you can see like Caucasians, the white people, they have they have their they have their technology base back in Europe. They communicate, they interact with each other, they collaborate, develop more technologies. The same thing with Asian, Asian continent. They have their technology base here, they have it in Asia, so they collaborate. But with African Americans and Africans, there is no collaboration because of this breakdown in science and technology. And so this is why keep concerning me to put this type of book together so that people can start understand exactly what's going on. Because one of the most important things here is that a lot of black people, especially African Americans in this country, we are so fascinated in going into sports, entertainment, celebrity stuff, which is excellent. But the thing that is bothering a lot of people is when we do make all this money in these areas, none of them try to invest this money into organizations that really support or help black, black organizations that are trying to prosper in the area of science and technology that can be able to help us to get things going.
Hmm. I can understand why you would definitely want to write a book to be able to do that. And it's so interesting that you say that because there's a commercial that's running right now that addresses that very thing and says, with the pandemic, unfortunately, Black and Brown, African American and those of Hispanic descent, if they lived in a poorer neighborhood, they're having a harder time keeping up in school because they don't have the resources, be it that it's the broadband, the high speed internet, or they don't have
That's
iPad or anything to be able to keep up. Where um, so many other students, unless you're a middle class Black
that's right.
person in the states, you're not going to have the same opportunities as does many of our other ethnicities that are here. And
That's
you're right. The picture that is painted of Black and Brown peoples, unfortunately, is one that always tends to be a little bit behind because we don't have the economic power to be able to do like many others. So I can definitely understand your perspective there. Now, when it comes to your book standing out, many times people will say, well, you always have great authors on the show, and everyone says that their book is amazing. But there are a lot of books on the shelf talking about Black people. There's a lot of books on the shelf talking about poverty, about science. Now, my question to you is for that person who is a naysayer, what makes your book different or unique from some of the others that are out there that talk about Blacks in poverty?
Yeah, I'm very glad that you asked that question because that's a really very interesting question, and that really will distinguish this book, Blacks and Poverty, from any other book in the marketplace at this point in time. These are the these are the differences of what distinguishes this book. Nobody has really, as far best to the best of my knowledge, I never seen anybody that has really addressed the importance of science and technology as it relates to, to minorities, particularly Black people, because it is said that technology is the economic engine of any nation, without which that nation cannot survive. The same thing applies to Black race. Without sophisticated technology, our race cannot advance, we cannot progress. And one of the best things about this book is that when you read this book, you will be able to say to your kids or young kids, African kids, young African kids, say to them, listen, at this 21st century, it's not sufficient enough to tell a kid, go to school and get education. That one is not good enough now. You have to tell them, go to school, get education in maths, science, computer, so that they be able to compete in the 21st century economy.
Mm.
Without advancing in these areas, Black people will continue to lag behind, behind and behind. And any civilized Black person will not want to see that happening. We have fought, we have struggled for social equality, we have struggled for everything, but this is the time we have to struggle and fight for technology equality because that's the only way we can be able to compete. We'll be able to have the economic power so we can be able to compete in any area, in any place. So,
Absolutely.
so for instance, just let me give one example. Let's say a Black company owns a company the size of Apple or Google or Lockheed. The power of Black people in this country will be massive. We have the respect. We have anything. But because we don't even have anything, no business, no product, no nothing. So they look at us so they can figure we just want to protest or that type of thing. So science and technology will be our backbone to come back and get what is ours. So
Absolutely.
that's what the book. Why I believe this book is one of the most distinguished book you can think of when it comes to power of poverty and blacks.
Hmm. Hmm. Now, when it comes to um, the understanding that you want, or the takeaway, that's probably a better phrase, the takeaway for anyone who purchases a copy of your book, what do you want them to make sure they understand? What is it that if they don't remember anything else, they remember these one or two bits of wisdom that you have shared with them?
What I like them to take away from reading the book is one, that without science and technology, black people we cannot prosper, we cannot advance, we cannot be able to compete in any area. We can see, for instance, We can say in the US Congress, we can have every Congress person black, African American. Our economic status will not change. But if we have one big corporation in this country, say something like size of Lockheed or something like Google, Apple, every young black person will be running around say, oh, this is our company. It motivates them to get to school, it motivates them to get education, it gives them the confidence and pride to come out, successful and that type of thing. So bottom line of this book is that it's about time black people start realizing that we need to go back and get ourselves equipped in the area of science and technology because that's the only way we can be able to compete in this fast changing economic world, 21st century economy. So that's what I would like them to get out of this book. Tell our kids, go to school, get education in math and science.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the competition is going to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, just a side note for the person out there that perhaps does not understand why this is so important. Here in the states, it has been um, a a a journey for Black people, especially, but for Black and Brown people in particular, when it comes to careers in math and science. They have blocked us many times. The education that we needed, even in the generation of my grandparents, you weren't allowed to attend college or university that would get you to that level. So if you look at it from a very historic point of view, don't think that this is just a gripe or a complaint or anything like that, but that if I'm hearing you correctly, now that we have the opportunity, now that more doors are starting to be opened to us, let's take advantage of those open doors and let's walk into that science major. Let's walk into that math major where it may have been denied to us before, but let's take advantage of that now. And I think that that is such a wonderful, wonderful reminder that we can now see a whole new generation of Black folks in particular, Black and Brown folks especially, that are changing the dynamic. And we will get, I feel that we'll get better results. But let me ask you about that. Do you think that or how do you think that once we do have more African Americans and um, more people of color involved in math and science, how do you think that that will change how math and science are explained to the next generation? How can we get more involved in technology, and what result will that have on us?
Okay, so now in black technologies advancement, which is my company. What we are trying to do now, as far as science and technology goes, we are setting up what we call Black Economic Summit. So we're setting up what we call Black Economic Summit. In this summit, we will have few of African Americans or African engineers and scientists in this summit, and then celebrities, African American celebrities, entertainments, these successful people in the movie, put them on one side, and then exchange ideas. So this group of scientists will say, this is what we figure will be better for young people for coming up at this, and then these investors like all these entertainers, celebrities will say, okay, this is the way we can work with you people to get this thing moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
this is the type of partnership because up till now, there never exists that type of partnership between black scientists and black celebrities. It doesn't exist. But once we can be able to get this mission set up, then you will see that a dynamic change. We see everybody knows interest to start building you see all these young kids, they start, picking up. So because when all they see at this point is just entertainers, movie stars on TV or that type of thing, they don't see any scientist. So they just see, that if you can build this type of foundational background, it's going to build that type of relationship, and this is how we are going to, the things will start picking up. So that's one of the main projects we are working on, because we are focused to make sure that this next generation do not go, in this particular poverty status, because the only way that can get people out of this is through science and technology. Have your own product in the marketplace.
Yeah.
Market is a two-way street. You buy mine, I buy yours.
Yeah.
And with the understanding that whatever product the marketplace is going to be based on science. So that's what we are trying to do.
Hmm. I love it. I love it. I think that it is always a great idea for Black dollars to be exchanged with Black dollars, the same way
There,
that so many other ethnicities have the same thing, right?
there
They
you
make
go.
sure that you support your own, the same way that we try to say, buy American. You should always definitely support your own. I love it. Well, Raymond Chukwu, thank you so much for coming on and for not only sharing your book with us, but kind of challenging us to step up and rise back up to the occasion. And I know that here in the States, we are definitely experiencing a mental enlightenment, and we are learning more about ourselves, and that we have permission to be all that God has created us to be. And I love it. Thank you for that reminder. But before I let you go, though, please remind everyone of the title of your book. Where can we get a copy? And of course, how do we stay in contact with you?
Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate this particular opportunity, and you are very friendly. So I really, enjoyed, the interview talking with you. For
Thank you.
people, the Blacks and Poverty is one of the best books they can think of. So to get it, they can get it at Barnes and Nobles. They can get it at Amazon, and you can go to our website is bta2tv.com, bta2tv.com, or you can call 408-244-7852. So in any of those, you can get the books. But I encourage everybody, get the book, read the book, because the book gives you a lot of backgrounds about Africa and that type of thing. When you read it, you can see that Africa is actually one of the most blessed continents in this world, because
Absolutely.
of because of its location between the equator, 40 degrees north latitude and 40 degrees latitude south, which puts it right in the middle of the planet. And this is why they have very favorable type of climate year round that can support the growth of any type of crops. That's
Mhm.
why that Africa is blessed, but we don't know. So this is why you need to get this book and read.
I agree with you. Thank you again, Raymond, for spending time with us here today. And viewers, thank you so much for spending time with us as well. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to spend some time with us here today, and I appreciate your doing so. As always, may the Lord continue to shine his face upon you. May you receive his grace and his mercy. I hope that we have enlightened, inspired, and empowered you to be your best. Until next time, everyone. Bye bye.
I wear a mask. I wear a mask. I wear a mask. I wear a mask because
I wear a mask because it's a tiny sacrifice to protect your freedoms.
I wear a mask because I can help stop the spread of COVID-19 in my community.
I wear a mask because I care about you, even if I don't know you.
I want to keep doctors, nurses, and other essential workers safe.
I wear a mask because I can, but my baby can't.
I wear a mask because I want to feel safe sending my kids back to school. My kids wear masks to keep their friends safe.
I wear a mask because I want you to stay healthy.
I wear a mask because I really want to get a haircut soon.
I wear a mask because I care about the health and well-being of those around me.
I wear a mask because I might not know that I'm sick.
Yo uso una máscara para mi familia y la comunidad.
I wear a mask because I want to keep others safe.
I wear a mask because I want to protect everybody.
I wear a mask because too many people who look like me are getting sick and dying from COVID-19.
I've grown fond of seeing people smile with their eyes. It's a beautiful experience in these times.
Do it for their futures.
Even if you don't have to, I hope you choose to.
Have the past few weeks or months been challenging? Yes, for all of us. We've been thrown into circumstances which we could never have imagined. Loss of jobs, working from home, general uncertainty, all while dealing with COVID. It's causing us to be a little on edge. If you need someone to talk to, Dr. Angela Chester can help. Visit newlifepastoralcounseling.com to get started. We're in this together.
You could be spreading the coronavirus without realizing you have it, so do your part and stay home. It's important to limit in-person interaction with anyone outside of your immediate household, but phone and video chat are safe ways to connect. It's also important to limit social gatherings. If you need essential items like food and medicine, try using a delivery service. If you must leave your house for essential items, or if you want to take a walk for exercise, make sure to wear a cloth face covering. Stay at least 6 feet away from other people. Try not to touch frequently touched surfaces like light signals, street signs, or benches. And wash your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds as often as possible. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults. It takes all of us to slow the spread of the coronavirus, so stay home unless absolutely necessary. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
Welcome to Daily Spark TV. Are you an author with a faith-based book? Be a guest. Serious about your product or service and want to try something new? Sponsor an episode. I see you're ready to get started. So visit drangela.chester.com. Thanks again for watching Daily Spark TV.